Hare Krishna, everyone. Greetings and welcome to Saturday Sanga from just up the road from Simhachalam in the house of Meenakshi Swami and Tiranitai and Tara and Dani Balaram, yeah. Okay, here comes some more cushions. Okay. If I'm speaking a bit softly, it's because, I don't know, I have a bit of a sore throat today. Not bad, but just there's a little spider in my throat. All right, let's see how it goes. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manovishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Karamahyam Tadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapada Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tang Sajiva Sadvaitam Savadutam Harijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitangscha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktarinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So nice to see you all, and I believe perhaps a few more devotees will come over the next few minutes. Today's a quite hot day here, so I can imagine some devotees are in a swimming pool somewhere, which is quite understandable if you're in Europe. If you're in South Europe, it's probably even hotter. Yeah. so, such as it is. All right, we are, where are we? We're looking at a song from Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and then a bit of his biography, actually, yeah, from Narottama Vilasa, but it's telling about Srinivasa Acharya in the section we're reading. Let's see what we have here. Okay, reading and then singing from Srila Narottama Das Thakur's collection of songs, Prarthana, and this is Vaisnave Vijnapati. Oh, I think it's misspelled. It should be Vijnapati. It says Vijnapati. Vaisnava Vijnapati, song number 2. I wonder, don't mind my taking the time, but I want to see if that shows up in the Sanskrit dictionary. Vijnapati. Probably wrong. Vijnapati. Vijnapati. Oh, it just says equals Nyapti. Okay, let's see. Vijnapti, C, big. Oh. Oh, it says C with a short A. Okay, we'll try that. Yes, here we go. Information, report, address to a superior, a request, an entreaty. Entreaty means like you're pleading, please, please. So I guess that's the sense in which it's used here, Vaisnave. So an entreaty, begging the Vaishnavas for something, probably for their mercy. All right, so it goes like this. Ei-bāro, Karuna koro Vaisnava Gosāñi, patita-pāvana tomā, bine keho. O Vaisnava Goswami, please be merciful to me now. There is no one except you who can purify the fallen souls. So ei-bāro, literally this time, and I think it's kind of emphasized this time because of the I after the E, ei-bāro. This right now, Baro, this time. Karuna koro, and koro is this imperative form. So do it, do something. What should he do? He should do karuna or make karuna. And then Vaisnava Gosai is implied. It's vocative, just addressing O Vaisnava Gosai. Patita-pāvana tomā. Tomā, I guess, is the same as tomar, but I'm not sure. And then patita-pāvana, pāvana purifying, patita fallen. So you are the purifier of the fallen, bine, without So without you, there is no one except for you. And then the rhetorical question, keho, nai, how, how, um, how can I not, how can I be saved? How can I be purified? How can I get mercy? Keho nai, I guess, is emphasis nai. Keho, question nai, not at all. I don't know. Patita-pāvana tomā. Oh, it may mean by any means, by any means, at all, maybe. Without you, by no means at all. Jāhāra nikote gele pāpa dure jai, amona doyala prabhu keba kota pai. Where does anyone find such a merciful personality by whose mere audience all sins go far away? Okay, so rhetorical question, keba kota pai. So jāhāra, and this is a little confusing. Sometimes it would be transcribed with a Y instead of a J. But typically that so-called Y in the beginning of the word is pronounced as the English ja. So it's jāhāra. But you could also see it as jāhāra. And it might be like that in Chaitanya-charitamrita. So it's of whom, it's, I think, possessive of whom. And then nikat is in the proximity. So in the proximity of whom, gele pāpa dure jai. Pāpa, or sin, gele is past tense to go, has gone, or may, or goes. Where does it go? Dure, far, far in the distance. And jai, jai is, gele jai, I think, is the verb combined. It has successfully gone, maybe. Amon dayala prabhu keva kota pai. Amon is such, such mercy, such compassion, dayala. Prabhu keva kota pai. Pai is to gain, to get. And kota, I think, is where. So where would you get? And then keba, I'm not sure in that case. It's, I don't know. It's a question word, but what is it here? Maybe it emphasizes kota. Keba. Where at all, maybe, can one get? Gangar parosha hoile paschete pavan. Darshane pavitra koro-ei tomā guna. After bathing in the waters of the sacred Ganga many times, one becomes purified, but just by the sight of you, the fallen souls are purified. This is your great power. So Gangara is possessive of the Ganga, and Parasha is one of these stretched out words, missing the S in the front that would make it sparsha, which means touching in Sanskrit. So sparsha becomes parsha, becomes parasha in this particular case. Ganga parasha. So the touching of the Ganga, oile paschete-pāvana, pavan, purifying, paschete, after, I guess, later, one might say, paschate, I mean, paschatya, we know this means, Western, paschatya desha, the later country, because the sun comes up in the east and it goes to the west. So the Western countries are the later countries, paschatya desha. But here, paschate, I think means after some time, and hoile is can be or may become something like that. May become purified after some time. Darshane pavitra, in the sight, in the seeing, pavitra, purification. Koro-ei argun. Koro-ei. That's interesting. Anyway, tomar gun, your quality or your virtue, translated here as your great power. So your great power is this doing pavitra, making pure, purification just by darshan, in darshan, when there is darshan. Hari-sthāne aparadhe thare hari-nām, tomā aparadhe nahi paritran. Oh, the holy name delivers one who has committed an offense to Lord Hari. But if one commits an offense to you, there is no means of deliverance. So, hari-sthāne, in the position of Hari. So, but it's technically, I think this would be in Sanskrit, the sati saptami locative form, which means when something happens, then something. So when there is aparad, related to Hari or in the position of Hari, tare hari-nām. Tare is, I think here, crossing, so delivery. There is delivery, there is hari-nām delivery, something like that. Tomā, your position, when there is aparad of in your position or related to you, nahi paritran, there's no freedom, there's no counteraction, paritran. Trana, paritranaya sadhunam inashaya cha dushritam. There's some ardanga downstairs if you want to get, and there just might be kartals also. Yeah. So we have paritranaya sadhuna, right, in Bhagavad Gita. For the purpose, paritranaya, for the purpose of paritrana, of delivering who? Sadhunam, of the sadhus, plural. Tomā hridaye shada govinda-viśrām. Govinda kohena-mora, Vaisnava paran. Your heart is always the resting place of Lord Govinda. Lord Govinda says, the Vaishnavas are in my heart. Tomā hridaye, so in your heart. Sada, always. Govinda-viśrām. There is the resting of Govinda. Govinda kohen, Govinda says, what does he say? More Vaisnava paran. Paran is a stretched out prana. So life, like life air. So the Vaishnavas are my life. Yeah. Nandi Mukhi will. So, more Vaishnava Pran, where does Krishna say this? In Srimad Bhagavatam. It says that the sadhus are, they are in my heart and I am in their heart. You know this verse? Anyone online? Sadhavo hridayam mahyam. Sadhunam hridayam tvaham madanyate na jananti naham tevyo managapi. Canto 9, chapter 4, verse number, I don't remember. It's all it's the conclusion to the problem that was created by what's his name? The terrible Muni who always makes trouble. Durvasa Muni, yeah. Okay, one more verse. Prati-janme kori asha choranera dhuli Narottame koro-doya aponar boli. I desire the dust of your holy feet in every birth I may take. Please consider Narottama yours and be kind upon him. So prati-janme, every birth, each birth. Kori, asha means hope or desire. Charanera dhuli means dust. What kind of dust? The dust of the feet. Charana has the sense of holy feet, as opposed to other words for feet. Narottame koro-doya apanara boli. So koro-doya, do make doya, mercy. Apanar is stretched out, apnar. which is of himself, I believe. And boli with apostrophe, bolia, having sung, having pronounced. Okay, apnar, yes. So apnar of yourself. Please consider Narottama yours. That's the translation says. Please, yeah, because prati-janme koriyasha charanaranduli. He's asking for the dust of his the guru's feet lifetime after lifetime. And who is the guru, the spiritual master of Narottama Das?
Lokanath Goswami.
Yes, Lokanath. We saw a very, very wonderful drama of this whole episode in Vrindavan here in Simhachalam a few days ago, organized by Hari and his family and the other family friends. Yeah. All right, shall we try to sing this? Excuse me. Live performance audio off. Unable to start live performance audio. Why is that? When I click, let's see, is Dharma-gupta there?
I think Dharma-gupta Prabhu is not there. He asked me to host today.
Uh-huh.
Oh. When you click at the audio button, audio settings.
Oh, let's see.
You should put original sound for musicians.
Well.
And then it appears on the right side of the screen. That's new. On the right.
Now it's okay.
And then you click
now
on.
It's okay.
Perfect.
I don't know what I did, but now it's okay. All right. Ei-bāro karuna koro Vaisnava Goswami patita-pāvana tomā bine keho ei-bāro koro Vaisnava Goswami patita-pāvana jāhāra nikat gele pāpa durecha amona doyala prabhu keva kotadhana jāhāra nikat gele Gangara parasha gele patita-pāvana darshane pavitra kore tomā Gangara parasha hari-sthāne aparadhe hare hari-nām tomā aparadhe nahi paretra hari-sthāne aparadhe hare tomāra hridoye shadda govinda-viśrām govinda kohena-mora Vaisnava prati-janme koriyasha charanere duni Narottama koro-ei banara-boli prati-janme koriyasha charanere duni Narottama ei-bāro Karuna koro Vaisnava Goswami patita-pāvana tomā bine keho ei-bāro Vaisnava Goswami patita-pāvana tomā bine keho Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Hari-nām Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Narottama Thakura ki jai. And continuing, if I can find it, we have some Narottama, is it Narottama Vilas? Somewhere on this computer. I saw it a couple of days ago. Let's see if I can find it again. Otherwise, maybe it was. Maybe it was here. Well, no. Yes. Alas, this is what happens when one is disorganized. Okay, I had all kinds of good intentions. I should get 2 points for good intentions. What was this? No.
Guru Maharaj,
Uh-huh.
can I have a short question in time
Yeah.
you see it, what you need? You said we are all as devotees in heart of Krishna and in our Lord. And I thought when I have not enough quality from devotee and I'm not in heart from my Lord, can you say that all your disciple or all disciple in heart of their guru, and it will be enough when I know I am in heart from my guru? Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah, I think that's a nice way of understanding. Naturally, we don't feel qualified to be in the heart of the Lord. The context, um, I always emphasize, always. It's always good to look at context of Shastric statements. So, of course, in that case of that verse, maybe we should find it. The declaration is to do with the trouble that Durvasa had been making for King Ambarish. And the problem was, Ambarish was being harassed by, I'm trying to find this, Canto 9. Maybe it's chapter 5. Maybe someone can look it up. Sadhavo hridayam mahyam. Sadhu-nām hridayam tvaham. It starts out. In any case, that it's, sort of Krishna's lesson to Durvasa, because Durvasa was harassing Ambarish. And so the Lord is saying, to say it in English slang, don't mess with my devotees. Don't mess with them. That means don't make trouble for them. Because they're very dear to me. They're so dear to me that they are my very heart, and I am their heart. So there's a very close relationship. So yeah, naturally we feel like, well, okay, that's can't apply to me because, well, for all the reasons we may feel we're not really qualified. But one point is we might also think about the word sadhu and how it's defined in the third canto by Kapila-dev. What is it, chapter 25? Oh, here we have it. 9:468, thank you. Yeah. Okay, it was chapter 4. Thank you. Chapter 4, verse 68. Okay, so, okay, the translation of the verse, Prabhupada's translation, the pure devotee is always within the core of my heart, and I am always in the heart of the pure devotee. My devotees do not know anything else but me, and I do not know anyone else but them. So he's translating the word sadhu as pure devotee. It's sadhava because it's plural. And then we have a definition of sadhu in the third canto, 25, I don't know, verse 21 maybe. Titikshava karunika suhrida sarvadehinam. Ajata shatrava shanta sadhava sadhubhushana. The ornaments, bhushana, of a sadhu are that they're titikshu, they're tolerant, and karunika, they're merciful, and surida sarvadehinam, they're the friend of all living beings. and including those nasty wasps that give us trouble this time of year. And sadhu, ajata shatra. So a shatru is an enemy, and shatrava is plural, referring to the sadhus, those whose enemies are ajata, not born. In other words, they have no enemies. Ajata shatrava shanta, and they're peaceful. Sadhavas, sadhubhushana, the bhushanas, the qualities of the sadhus. Verse, oops. Huh? I can't see. 25:21. Oh, I was right. Thank you. All right. So then again, you may hear that definition of a sadhu and think, well, that's not me either. Tolerant and no enemies and friend of everyone and all of that. And so what to do? Well, yes, you've made a good point that the devotees are dear to the guru who is helping us to become sadhus. And we understand the guru is dear to the sadhus and therefore also dear to Krishna. So there's a kind of chain connection. There's a, yeah. Is that okay? Oh, Darya Janani, it's okay.
Yes, thank you, Guru Maharaj. To know that we are all in your heart is
Yeah. So yes, I think we can hold off with the Narottama Vilas this time and just take other subjects. And first, I think it's nice to acknowledge some of you who are here, who have been here at Simhachalam, and in particular, those of you who have received initiation, starting with Madhupuri and Mathura Mohan, who received second initiation. And they're waving to us from presumably back in Barcelona. Yes. Barcelona Yatra ki jai. Yes, Mathura Mohan lives in Barcelona now. He was living in Mendoza, Argentina, but he migrated and or immigrated. You migrate from and you immigrate into a country, something like that. All right. Yeah, so congratulations to you both. Gaur Premanande Hari Bol. And then we have Kshetra Vilasini. Hari 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 Bol. Welcome to the officially welcome to the party.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, Hare Krishna devotees.
Congratulations to you. And now you're back in Watford, right?
Yeah. It's cold today.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, different from here. Okay. Good. And who else is here? Brinda Priya is with us. Brinda Priya, I don't know if you're already back in Odessa. If so, that was a long ride.
Hare Krishna, да, Guru Maharaj. Я в
Hare
Одессе.
Krishna, congratulations to you. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
And let's see, we also have, oh yes, we have Marisha Sudevi and Nimbarka. Where's Nimbarka?
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj.
Hare
And
Krishna.
Embarker is working.
It's working.
Yes,
Oh,
he's
okay.
working.
Anyway, congratulations and welcome, Marisha Sudevi.
Yeah, thank you so much. We are back in Berlin.
Back in Berlin, yes.
Yes.
We're on our way direction Berlin tomorrow.
Tomorrow you will come?
No, direction. We will.
Also, direction. Okay.
Yeah.
Leipzig. First Leipzig,
We're gonna-
really?
Yeah, well, first, the Balavan Krishna and Amrita Mandali Bhavan. We're going to make a stop over there. And then we will go to Leipzig.
Thank you.
And let's see. Yeah, some of you I see who were also here in Simhachalam. If you want to share anything, your thoughts about the retreat we had. Oh, Tamal Sham is also here. He's on the next screen, I guess. Where is Tamal Sham? He's here somewhere. Okay. Not seeing. Oh, there he is. He's hiding. Anyway, greetings and welcome and congratulations, Tamal Shama from London. Yeah. He's so yeah, anyone, let's see. Anastasia, did you have a good time here at Simhachalam?
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Yes, I had an amazing time. Thank you so much for this opportunity to see you all in person, and it was just wonderful. I'm eager to meet you one more time, maybe somewhere in the nearest future, because I already have this feeling that can be described as a pain of parting.
Pain of separation.
Separation, yes. True.
Okay, nice. Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Haribol. Yeah. Saraswati, I saw you here, but we hardly spoke because I don't know what. You were here and you were there and I was over there and then over there somehow. I hope you had a good time here.
Unmute.
Yes,
Hare
unmute.
Krishna.
Yes.
Yes, it was nice, like always with you. I'm a little bit introvert, so it's okay. We spoke in higher level. We don't need the words. It was nice.
Yeah.
It was nice days for me. It's some kind of business off these days, and a lot of mercy, a lot of inspirations for the future.
Good.
Yes, and for the studying of the third canto of.
Yes.
Yes, I will try to write something.
Good.
And yes, nice.
Thank
you very much.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. For those of you who are not here with us in Simhachalam, we invited everyone to write this third canto reflection. And more specifically, I suggested that devotees could sort of team up with one or two others to make little writing groups where you meet and discuss your ideas and maybe share a draft of what you've written and get, as they say, feedback and so on. So whether or not anyone does that, I don't know, but that was my suggestion. Let's see, Vraja Mohini, you want to comment?
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Jai.
And all glories to you. I was speaking with Vrajatoshani Mataji, and we were speaking about how much we miss the retreat and you and God Sisters and Simhachalam. And she had the idea of inviting everyone in the retreat to maybe write a small reflection about the retreat, and maybe to submit also the lyrics of the songs that devotees wrote, or it can be excerpts from the dramas. So Vrajatoshani Mataji, who couldn't be here today, she had the idea of asking God Sisters and God Brothers for such a thing, and then getting together like a small online booklet rather. And we also wanted to ask your idea, and whether you think it's a good idea.
That's nice, yes. As long as it doesn't, distract anyone from our third canto project.
Yes. Yes. We thought of giving like a short deadline, maybe for the next like 10 days.
Yeah, it's good to do it quickly because
yes.
The impressions fade, unfortunately.
Yes, impressions fade, and they sometimes also rather quickly fade away. So we also wrote in the WhatsApp group of our God family just recently. So devotees can also see that message. Yes.
Good. Okay.
Hare Krishna. And thank you for the wonderful retreat and the wonderful Janmashtami festival, Gurudev. It was very beautiful.
Thank you for coming. Are you back in Budapest?
I am actually in Krishna Valley because there is a retreat of different people from Dubai who are who know about Krishna consciousness in different levels. And it's a group of about 20 people, so I'm helping with the retreat. They are all very nice people.
Oh, very good.
So I'm in Krishna Valley.
Okay. Shri Shri Radha Shyama Sundara Ki Jai.
Jai. Thank you, Gurudev.
Esther, you wanted to speak.
To share, because I was also there.
Yeah.
Thank you, Maharaj. And it was, for me, in concise form, it was so wonderful just being present with so many devotees on such a wonderful place, and also somehow to meet in person people who are here, devotees who are here. I could even speak with them in person. So for me, it was amazing to know them. For example, also with Anastasia, and also Dira Lalita and Vraja Toshani and other devotees also. And the other thing, what was especially beautiful to me was this drama, which is also connected with knowing devotees better, because I would also only see them or maybe on the altar or somehow, but when you do some service together, you can know devotees better, and it's so beautiful.
Yeah, it's true. When we do things together, then we get to know each other. And another thing you mentioned, drama, I find it interesting to see how different aspects of devotees' characters come out in the drama.
Yes.
So in special ways. And then sometimes you see a different side of them, which can be very amazing. Yeah. Good, thank you. Nice you could come.
Yeah, thank you. I hope to come again. Yes.
And I hope that those of you who are not with us in person were able to take part online to some extent. Of course, it's a different sort of experience, but at least something. Yes, I see some nodding. Good. Okay. All right. What shall we do now? Well, I have in front of me, speaking of third canto, don't mind, I'm kind of pushing this. But I just happen to have open to one verse in the third canto. And let's see if we can find it here. What am I looking for? This is, yeah, 3:9, 9:11. Okay. Okay. Tam bhakti yoga paribhavita hritsaroja ase shutekshitapato nananata pungsam yat diya ta urugaya vibhavayanti tat papu pranayase sat anugrahaya. This is 3:9:11. Oh, my Lord, your devotees can see you through the ears, Shutekshitapata, by the process of bona fide hearing, Shuta Ikshita. And thus their hearts become cleansed. And you take your seat there, Ase. You sit in their hearts. You are so merciful to your devotees that you manifest yourself in the particular eternal form of transcendence in which they always think of you. So this is a little complicated. Yat diya. So by whatever meditation the devotees do, tat vapu pranayase, that vapu, that form, whatever form they meditate, that form you manifest. Sat anugrahaya, to show your causeless mercy. And then I happen to have, because the devotees' house where we're staying has the Bhagavata Subodhini study guide for Canto 3. And I like these. They're compiled, they're written by Gauranga Darshan Prabhu from Govardhan Eco Village. And they're very helpful to sort of unpack. And by the way, these are I don't know. I think all of them that have been completed are available on Kindle, which means you can get for a very, very small price. You can download. And this may help you to sort of navigate. Because yeah, the Bhagavatam is quite complex. There's a lot going on in the Bhagavatam. And so it can be helpful to get some navigation device, some GPS to see where you are. So he mentions in a note to this verse, he's referring to the point about seeing the Lord through the ears, Shruta Ikshita Pata, through the path of Ikshita. Yeah, Ikshita means seen, the path of seen in the ears, Shruta, heard. Seen, I don't know, I think it could be translated seen and heard. Well, the word for word that Prabhupada gives is seen through the ear. That's fine, but I think it could also mean, it could be a dvandva compound, so it could be seen and heard, or heard and seen. Heard, seen. In any case, in the note, he says, verse 5 of this chapter, ye tu tvadiya-charanam bojakosha gandham. I don't think I have that here. It doesn't have the translation. You are never separated from your devotees' hearts who smell through their ear holes the aroma of your lotus feet, carried by the air of Vedic sound, and accept those feet as the greatest treasure through bhakti. So I think we have some interesting suggestions of what's called synesthesia. Anyone know what synesthesia is? Daityesha, tell us what synesthesia is.
Well, I was not thinking of speaking, but yes, it's just the interchanging of the sound's function. I mean, you can see with your eyes, or you can smell with your mouth, or that type of sensation that you get through some other organ that did one is.
Well, we usually do see with our eyes. So why is that synesthesia?
Well, you were talking about hearing and seeing, weren't you?
Yeah, but okay. I think you get the idea, but I think you got it a little mixed up. So,
maybe.
So it's a so it's a kind of crossing the wires of, I suppose neuroscience would say there's some kind of crossing of wires in the brain. But so the sense of hearing is usually a function of the ears. Can there be hearing through the sense of touch, for example? We don't usually think of that in that way. But the way it's used here is smelling through the ears. Who ever heard of smelling through the ears, right? Of course, you can say, well, it's all just being poetical, because there's the idea of lotus feet, and if you have feet which are like lotuses, and lotuses have a fragrance, so that would be smelling. But then when you hear, what are you hearing? You're hearing maybe about the lotus feet, but you may have a sense of being so moved by what you hear that you can practically smell. And then the perfect example of synesthesia is Krishna himself. Angani yasya sakalendriya vrittimanti pasyanti panti kalayanti chirang jaganti ananda chinmaya saduchala vigrahasya govinda-viśrām purusham tamaham bhajami. Right? So angani yasya, whose angas, whose limbs, sakala, all his limbs, can function interchangeably. Pasyanti panti kalayanti. He can see, he can panti, I don't know, kalayanti. He can do all different activities with all the different senses, or all the different limbs. So I think that's also a kind of synesthesia. Maybe. maybe not. Okay, so but what comes to my mind also from this verse, Tvam Bhakti Yoga Paribhavita Hritsaroja. So they are seeing through the ears. So, and then the verse 5 was about smelling through the ears. But there's also smelling through the nose. And that is celebrated in another verse, which would be in the 3rd canto. Tasyaravinda nayanasya padaravinda kinjalka mishra tulasi makaranda vayu antargata svavivarena chakaratesham sankshobam aksharajusham api something. Sankshobam aksharajusham api chit something. So that's describing the 4 Kumaras. What happens to the 4 Kumaras? They come into Vaikuntha. They have some trouble with Jai and Vijay. Verse number 3:15:43. Thank you. 3:15:43. Sankshobam aksharajusham api chitta tanvo. Yes. Yeah, so it's describing, and I've always found this verse interesting and intriguing. So they're meeting the Lord, and they smell the tulsi that is on the Lord's feet. And the result of this is that they become kind of all shaken up in a nice way. Sankshobam. Aksharajushamapi, even though they were absorbed in the impersonal absolute, aksharajusham, they become transformed. Antargata svavivarena. And what's interesting to me, aside from that, they're affected so nicely just by, they don't see the, I mean, presumably they also see the Lord, but it's somehow it's the smelling that really moves them. But also what's interesting is it specifically says that this aroma has entered into the channels of their noses. And so here's the four Kumaras, and they're entering into Vaikuntha, but they're being stopped. But then when the Lord comes, the Lord enters them. The Lord enters them through their nose. The Lord manifests out of the nose of Lord Brahma as Varaha, and he enters into the nose of the four Kumaras in the form of the aroma of his feet. But the context here, this is, again, back to Tvam Bhakti Yoga Paribhavita, this verse about the Lord appearing in whatever form the devotees meditate. What is the context of this? Well, this is chapter 9, and this is Brahma's prayers for creative energy. Okay, and so Lord Brahma has he wants something to happen. He wants to get energy to create, and creation is, there's creation, there's maintenance, there's destruction, and that's all described elaborately in the Bhagavatam. And creation, Brahma seems to have a problem with creation. It's not just so automatic. He needs help. And so you could say that's a broad point of this chapter. He recognizes that he needs help, and so he prays for help. And then let's see briefly, the Lord's supreme form is the theme of the first 5 verses. Then the predicament of the conditioned souls is 6 through 10. And then 11 through 13, the Lord's reciprocation with various devotees. 14 through 21, obeisances unto the Lord, presumably. And then 20 through 25 are the requests. So we could say in the middle of the chapter, more or less, 11 through 13, Brahma is recognizing what's special about the Lord, that he reciprocates. And so he's praising, he's acknowledging, he's praising him for that. Demigods not satisfied, non-devotees unavailable, people who offer their results will become pure gradually. Obeisances unto the Lord. Yeah, there's a variety of things in this chapter. It's not such a long chapter, 25 verses. But it could be interesting to explore. Okay, enough of that. Where are we? Okay, I have an idea, but I'm not really prepared to start with this now. But I thought I would, as we say in English, run it by you and see what you think. I have an idea that we gradually, over some sessions, explore the Purusha Sukta hymn of the Rig Veda. And we could do this in relation to the Bhagavatam, because in the second canto, there are a few verses which kind of echo the Purusha Sukta. What do you think? Some nodding heads. It might get a little technical. I don't know. We'll have to see. Oh, there you are, Tamal Shama. Hare Krishna. We didn't see you before.
Hi, Krishna Maharaj. Sorry, I had a problem with my camera earlier.
That's okay. So, yes, we just wanted to offer congratulations.
Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj. I had a great time in Simhachalam, and the ceremony was great. I'm very grateful for everything. Yeah, so I'm very impressed by the temple. Was my first time there as well. So yeah, everything was amazing. The devotees were very nice, and the whole mood was really good too.
Good. Okay,
thank you.
And we're getting some responses here to my Purusha Sukta suggestion. I mean, we could start if, Leelamai, if you drag this black bag over here, I think I can dig out. I think I have it with me. Yeah. Here. Possibly. No, that's not it. There it is. We have the translation of Purusha Sukta. This was done by Banu Swami, I believe. No, this was done by Gaudapada Dasa. I don't think I know Gaudapada personally. He, I believe, was a student of Gopi Paranadhana Prabhu, who was one of the senior Sanskritists who worked with Sri Dayananda Goswami on the 10th, 11th, 12th cantos of Bhagavatam, and was teaching devotees in Govardhan, teaching Sanskrit. Yeah, so this is Purusha Sukta with the commentary of Shonaka. So there is a commentary to the Purusha Sukta. And this Purusha Sukta has been translated any number of times in different languages, no doubt. And I started trying to gather resources about it. The reason being, well, in general, I found it very intriguing. And it's the most, I think we can say, most famous hymn of the Rig Veda. And it's used ritually in worship. It's used in yagyas, fire sacrifices, and it's also used, it's kind of incorporated into archana, into puja. And one scholar, the late Professor Simhachalam, who visited us, who was with us in Oxford a few times, told me once that there are 16 different ways to chant the Purusha Sukta in terms of the melodies and such. As I said, it's also in the Bhagavatam kind of echoed. And this has led me to consider maybe, possibly, perhaps, developing an academic article on this subject for presenting in, there's this conference that happens in Croatia, South Croatia, in Dubrovnik, every 3 years. And if I could manage it, I could present this at this conference in 2026. And yeah, anyway, it would be interesting for me. And then by talking about it with all of you, this might help sort of stir up thinking about it. So that's what I was thinking to do. Vijnapati, you're saying you usually use Yajurveda. Oh, the Yajurveda version. Maybe you can unmute and explain about this.
Namaskaram, Swamiji. Jai Srila Prabhupada. I mean, you've already explained it because you said that, you know, there's the Purusha Suktam from the Rig Veda, which is probably the oldest version of the oldest version of the Suktam. I believe it only goes up to 16 verses in the Rig Veda, and then it becomes more elaborate in the Krishna Yajurveda. Yajurveda, let's say Yajurveda, there's just Krishna Yajurveda and Shukla Yajurveda have different ways of chanting it. And very interestingly, even we have a tendency, I guess, now within deity worship, within the Gaudiya tradition, to follow the Pancharatric tradition, which is largely Krishna Yajurveda based. So the chanting of the mantra is done in very, what we like to say, South Indian meter.
Yes.
But if we go to the Goswami literature, we find that the Purusha Sukta is actually in Shukla Yajurveda, and they refer to the Rig Veda and Shukla Yajurveda versions of swaras, the way that just for everybody's benefit, for those people who don't know, there are markings on Sanskrit in the Veda of how the pronunciation should be. And you have svaritas, which are different, how do we say?
Upper pitch.
Their pitch, yeah, I guess to use a musical term, is a pitch that you would use to go up on certain words. And you have dirgha swarita as well. And dirgha swarita means you'd have to go up a couple of times in the Rig Veda. Krishna Yajurveda and Shukla Yajurveda in sound are very different. You tend to use Shukla Yajurveda in North India. It tends to be the method of chanting, and method of chanting can be very similar to the way the Buddhists chant mantras in Pali, which is in Thailand. If you ever listen to the mantras that are being chanted there, it's a very similar type of tune, similar tone and similar meters that they're using for chanting the mantras.
No, I've never heard Thai Buddhist chanting, although I visited Thailand many years ago, and we visited some monasteries, but I don't remember hearing any chanting.
So I can kind of give an example. If we go to the Rig Veda, we chant Purusharta Shukla Yajurveda, they will sound something like this. Maybe for the untrained ear, it might all sound the same. But for those people who notice the difference between the chanting of the mantras, there are very different ways of chanting. For example, in Shukla Yajurveda, we would chant Purusharta Om Sahasrashirsha Purukhaha Sahasraksha Sahasrapat Sabhomim Vishvato Vritvatatishtadashangulam Ma. Right? So they would chant like this.
Yeah. Pretty much monotone, huh?
Almost very monotone. Purukha eveda gung sarvam yadbhutai yacha bhavyam ma. Like this. And in Shukla, in Krishna,
and it's not Purusha, it's Puruka.
Puruka, yeah, so
Interesting.
Puruka. And they will have the gush or the gum sounds will be used inside that. It's very similar to sounds to the when you have these different pitches in the in Sanskrit in the chanting of mantras, you have svaritas which go upwards, and you have anudatas which go down. So sometimes the tone has to go down, the tune has to go downwards.
Sahasra Shirsha
Yeah, so that's
Sahasraksha Sahasrapata.
So you're chanting in Krishna Yajurveda. So Sahasra Shirsha Purushaha Sahasraksha Sahasrapat Sabhomim Vishvato Vritta Atyatishtadashangulam Purusha Evedagam Sarvam Yadbhutayakchabhavyam Utamritatvasheshanaha Yadannena Tirohati Swaha. Like this. So if you were to do a homa, a fire sacrifice, then Swaha would be added at the end of it. And then so yeah, in Krishna Yajurveda, and then you also have Madhyandina way of chanting the Veda, which again there's so many. You said 16. I won't demonstrate everything here. I don't know everything anyway. My area is I come from a Shukla Yajurveda Shukla Yajur and Samaveda family, but they don't practice the Veda at the moment. So I had to go to learn from Krishna Yajurvedis, and I learned from South.
Yeah. Well, that was it was not a Simhachari who told me there were 16 different ways of chanting.
There's also Kanva as well. There's one called Kanva. There's also in Banaras, there is a very, very rare form of Vedic chanting that is found. And if you look at the Thai chanting, the Pali chanting, Om Namo Bhagavato Arahato, like this, they would chant, you know. It's very similar to to the Shukla Yajurveda, they will chant Om Swastina Indro Vridashavaha Swastina Pukha Vishavedaha Swastina Tariksho Arishtaniemi Swastino Brihaspatir Dadatu. So this again, it's they have similarities, but then I guess that's the Vedic chanting. But Brahmanas have been preserving this way of chanting in Gurukulas for hundreds and thousands of years, and I guess it still exists to some extent, but some of these Kanva shakas, they're called shakas or different branches of Veda chanters, the Udgatas, the singers of the Veda, is slowly being lost because more and more people are kind of moving away. There's caste problems.
They're becoming electrical engineers.
Yeah, or moving from
computer programmers.
Yeah. But the Veda, the Purusha Sutta, again, just as you said, philosophically, I guess, is going to be a really interesting conversation to have because it's from this paradigm, this kind of both cosmological form and geopolitical form of the Purusha, which is superimposed from the cosmological Purusha onto the geopolitical sphere, by where you get the varnas and the ashramas and everything from this. So that'll be a very interesting discussion, I think.
Yes, and you're welcome to add to the discussion when we get going with it.
Sure, Guru Maharaj, thank you. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I think I won't continue with that now, but I seem to be getting a green light for this, so we can at least look into it for some time, and if it all gets too strange for you, you can holler. You can say, enough, enough. This is all just dry wood. We want the nectar of devotion. But sometimes, it might be good to go back to the roots. Nigama kalpa taror galitang palang shukamukad amrita drava samyutam. The Bhagavatam says, pibata Bhagavatam. So yes, the Bhagavatam is the fruit, but it's nice to know something about the branches and the tree and the roots. I don't know. I think so. To more appreciate the fruit. Yeah. Okay. That's my thought on that. Right. We have a few minutes. We could read some Chaitanya-charitamrita. Speaking of nectar, let me see. It's been a while. I think this would be it. Chaitanya-charitamrita Adi Lila, chapter 16, verse 72. Might be it. Let's see. Share screen. Yeah. I hope you can see this.
Yes, we can see it, Guru Maharaj.
Okay, Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta-vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta-vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta-vrinda. So we are with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who at this time is known as Nimai Pandit, and we're with him on the banks of the Ganga, somewhere in the Navadvip area, and he is meeting with a certain Pandit known as Keshava Kashmiri, otherwise known as Keshava Bhatta, and who, although it's not mentioned in Chaitanya-charitamrita, seems to have been a prominent figure in the Nimbarka Sampradaya. Pancha alankarir ebe shunoha vichar, dui shabdalankar, teen arta alankar. Now, hear the description of the 5 literary embellishments. There are 2 ornaments of sound and 3 ornaments of meaning. I just remembered we were going to try to get Gopinath Prabhu to join us sometime to give us a, I don't know, it's such a huge topic, Alankar, Sanskrit poetry, but maybe he could inspire us with some of his nice inspirations. So yes, he's speaking, to say that Nimai Pandit is elaborating about this one verse, which the other pundit has spoken. Shabda alankar tina pade ache anuprasa Sri Lakshmi Shabde Punar Uktavad Abhasa. There is a sound ornament of alliteration in 3 lines, and in the combination of the words Shri and Lakshmi, there's the ornament of a tinge of redundancy. Okay, ideally we would switch back and forth with the verse, but I forgot what the verse number was. Was it 41? Yes. Okay, I do have it here. Mahatvam Gangaya Satatamidam Abhati Nitaram Yadesha Sri Vishnos Charanat Kamalot Patti Subhaga Dvitiya Sri Lakshmir Iva Suranarayar Archacharana Avani Bharturya Shirasi Vibhavat Yadbhutaguna. So this is the verse that he's concerned about. The greatness of Mother Ganges always brilliantly exists. I want to get my computer a little off of the ground because it's getting hot. Oops. Yeah, well, that always gets hot. Sorry about that, folks. Okay. Actually, I should show you around the room. First, we'll give you darshan of the gods. They're a bit in the dark here, but yeah. Those are Giriraj Maharaj and his friends. And we have some other friends here. It does everything in reverse. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so the greatness of Mother Ganges always brilliantly exists. She is the most fortunate because she emanated from the lotus feet of Sri Vishnu, the personality of Godhead. She is a second goddess of fortune, and therefore she is always worshipable, both by demigods and by humanity. Endowed with all wonderful qualities, she flourishes on the head of Lord Shiva. Okay, that's the verse, and he says, in the combination of the words Shri and Lakshmi, there is an ornament of a tinge of redundancy. So there's a little redundancy, but it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. Abhasa. There's a bit of semblance. Pratama-charane pancha-takurira panti tritiya charane hoi pancha-repastiti. In the arrangement of the first line, the letter ta occurs 5 times, and the arrangement of the third line repeats the letter ra 5 times. Okay, so we can see 5 times ta and 5 times ra. So Mahatvam Gangaya satatam idam abati nitaram. I guess he's counting all the tas, even though they're not just ta, but also tva and ti. Tata idam abati nitaram. And then the third line, Dvitiya Sri Lakshmir Sura Narai Archita Charana. Oh, it seems like there's 6. All right, lots of Ra. The Sanskrit and Bengali word for the letter R is repa. Repa. Chaturta charani charibha kara prakasha ataiva shabdalankara anuprasa ataiva shabdalankara anuprasa. In the 4th line, the letter bha occurs 4 times. This arrangement of alliteration is a pleasing ornamental use of sounds. Okay, so the 4th line, bhavani, bharturya shirasi, vibhavati, adbhuta guna. So 4 times. Okay. So that's considered a good thing. This is alliteration. Alliteration means the same sound more than once in a series. Shri Shabde Lakshmi Shabde Akavastu Ukta Punar Ukta Prai Bhashe Nohe Punar Ukta. Although the words Shri and Lakshmi convey the same meaning and are therefore almost redundant, they are nevertheless not redundant. Nahe punar ukta is not a repetition. Okay. Shri Yukta Lakshmi Arte Arter Vibhed Punar Uktavad Avasa Shabdalankar Bheda. Describing Lakshmi as possessed of Shri, opulence, offers a difference in meaning with a tinge of repetition. This is the 2nd ornamental use of words. Now, of course, we're hearing Krishnadas Kaviraj. These are the words of Krishnadas Kaviraj. He's, you can say, wanting us to understand that he's reporting word for word exactly what Lord Chaitanya says. Like someone was there with an audio recording device, and he just is repeating that. One might, however, be a little skeptical and think, well, how did this get, carried between the actual event so many years before? I mean, this would have been something like nearly a century earlier that this happened, 90 years earlier. So how is this being conveyed? So one way to understand is, of course, essentially Krishnadas Kaviraj, we understand, is writing out of inspiration, and we can say it's being revealed to him. But I think we can also say that Krishnadas Kaviraj knows his Alankara Shastra very well. He knows, he's himself a poet. He's very learned in Sanskrit because he wrote another book before he wrote this book. He wrote the Govinda-viśrām, which is in Sanskrit. So we might also want to give some credit to Krishnadas Kaviraj for knowing all of these details about Sanskrit poetics. Lakshmir iva artalankar upama prakash aro artalankarache nama virodhabhas. The use of the words Lakshmir iva, like Lakshmi, manifests the ornament of meaning called upama, analogy. There is also the further ornament of meaning called virodhabhasa, or a contradictory indication. Yeah, so upama means, here it's translated analogy. It can also just mean comparison. And what is the comparison? The comparison is the Ganga with Lakshmi. It's identifying Ganga as another Lakshmi. So that's a kind of comparison. And so that's a kind of ornament. And ornaments are, what do? They beautify. They bring attractiveness to the poetry. Gangate kamala janme shobar subodha kamale gangar janma atanta virodha. Everyone knows that lotus flowers grow in the water of the Ganga. But to say that the Ganga takes birth from a lotus flower seems extremely contradictory. Ganga is taking birth from a lotus flower? What? So let's go back and look at it. Charana kamalotpati subhaga. She emanated from the lotus feet of Sri Vishnu. So, yeah, so that's, describing, we understand, where does Ganga come from? From the lotus feet of the Lord. But here, he's highlighting that this seems like a contradiction. We know that there are lotus flowers growing in the Ganga. Now we have the Ganga growing out of a lotus flower. But which lotus flower is it? It's the lotus flower which is the Lord's lotus feet. Okay. Iha Vishnu padapatne gangara utpatti virodhalankara iha mahachamatkriti. The existence of Mother Ganga begins from the lotus feet of the Lord, although this statement that water comes from a lotus flower is a contradiction. In connection with Lord Vishnu, it is a great wonder. Maha-chamatkriti. We know the word chamatkar. So this is another form of that. Roda alankara, a contradiction ornament. Yeah, so that's nice. Thinking in the context of what we were talking about before, Lord Brahma is praying for blessings of Lord Vishnu to create. So we can say a key element of that creation is the descent of the Ganga. The Ganga is like a major vein, like a blood vessel that goes through the body of the world, of the universe. Ishvara chintya shaktye gangara prakash ihate virodha nahi virodha abhasa. In this birth, of the Ganges by the inconceivable potency of the Lord, there is no contradiction, although it appears contradictory. Why is there no contradiction? Because it's the Lord. The Lord is all powerful. If he wants to manifest water out of his feet, who can stop him? And therefore it's not a contradiction. Okay, I think I'll end there and see if there are any comments to anything we read. Okay. Yeah, so let me also look on the schedule. Where are we next week? Next week we're in Leipzig. And I think that's going to be Rath Yatra Day. I don't know what time is there Rath Yatra. Huh? So we'll have to see whether or not we have Saturday Sanga next week. We have to see when is the Leipzig Rath Yatra, because we have a schedule coming just now. Starts at noon. Oh, that means I think we'll have to pass on the Saturday Sangha. Alas. I don't think they'll have live transmission from Leipzig of the Rath Yatra. I don't know. Yeah, so I'm kind of traveling for the next couple of weeks. Let's see, 2, 3 weeks. Oh, yeah. 3 more weeks of travel. This is our plan. Let us see what is Krishna's plan. Okay. Good. So I want to wish you all a wonderful day, night, and coming week. Keeping sane and keeping safe. And keeping brave. Be brave. There's Lavanya Leela, and there's now I have to remember names. Lavanya Leela, and I'm still learning your name. Hare Krishna. We will get it. I have to look it up. Okay, I think we'll stop.
Srinivas.
Huh?
Srinivas. But then I don't know.
Srinivas. Srinivas. Okay. Oh, we're giving names and then it takes us time to learn them. But that's okay too. Okay, thank you all. Very nice to see you all again. And I wish you a wonderful week. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai.
Jai.
Premanande Hari
Hari
Hari Hari Hari
Bol.
Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Hare
Guru
Krishna.
Maharaj.
Hare Guru Maharaj,
Nice
Hare Krishna
time.
Guru Maharaj. Hare
Hari
Krishna
Bol.
Guru Maharaj.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
devotees.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.